Alright people, well, we got the engine on, and wasn't too hard, wasn't difficult, drew right up, no issues. So now we got the engine on. I'll start putting other parts on. I gotta fix the PTO. The bolt on this side busted. I don't know how it happened, and of course I got grease on my new paint job. But yeah, it's turns over nice and smooth, no issues. Of course, we'll find issues out when it starts. Still got to put the mag on. I rebuilt the F&M mag. It's right there on the chop saw. Yeah, I cut it in half. I also got a Wicco mag that I rebuilt also. I think I'm going to go with the Wicco. And the reason being is because the threads on the F&M, which really disappointed me, but these threads are stripped. And I remember that now when I was first tinkering with this. I couldn't get that front bolt tight, and it was already stripped, so I think what I'm going to do is go with the Wicco mag that I have. It's not painted or anything, but I'll shine it up, and because I found that aluminum it looks crappy painted, and so I don't have a problem with it just being a aluminum look. I can get a nice steel wool brush and do a light steel wool on it, maybe a wet sand 240 grit, just to shine it up, like the output shaft for the mag. You can see how shiny I got that. I didn't bother painting that because I like the way it looked. It's the stainless steel. So I guess I'll throw the gas tank on next. We got the oil lines in. They're nice and tight and snug. As you can see, I got washers on these. I replaced some of the bolts, and they were about the thickness of the washer, too long, and I didn't feel like grinding them. So I just put a washer on there and drew them up. I can't find torque specs, so I got them as tight as I could without stripping. They're probably at about 40 foot-pounds, maybe 50. But they're tight, and the gasket's good and sealed. Got this line in too. And of course I haven't put the bolt in here because I've got the electric start on here, and I got to clean up the starter and everything. Runs, works, but I want to clean the plate up. But other than that, you know, it's going to look pretty. Maybe I'll video the installation of the gas tank and everything, because that'll be fun too. That is the next step in the reversal process of this. But I do want to get the mag on first, get that lined up, get it timed before I do anything else, because it's a lot easier if you've rebuilt one of these before. It's a lot easier to get the timing done now, so everything else, when you put it back on, you know it's time, you know it's ready to start. You know, I'll check the spark and everything, which I know that mag has a spark. And I got to put I mean, this stays on, but I got to put the starter clutch on it, which I don't know where I did with the starter clutch. I rebuilt that too. Oh, it's up there. You can see it. Here's the starter clutch. I rebuilt that, but I think I put the pins in backwards. It worked once, and then after the first time, it didn't work. So I gotta tear it apart. And if you ever rebuilt one of those before, you don't want to. They're very difficult to rebuild because the pins inside of those go in one specific way, and if you put even one in wrong, it won't work. So I gotta just tear it all apart again. I gotta look at the pins and figure out, did I in fact put them in It's very hard to assemble it back together. There's some guys out there that have rebuilt those, and it looks like it's a no-brainer. But if you watch those videos, you'll hear the guys talking about how, you know, it's important that you have the pins lined up on the inside, so you know that it's going to work well. So anyway, that's where we are today. And of course, there's my modification head bolt. And like I said, they're all at 20 foot-pounds, except for the ends, because I got to find my deflector, which I know I have around here somewhere. I must have put it in a good spot for me to recondition it, and I don't know what I did with it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. You all have a happy Father's Day. Thanks.